Hey there, Reverend Sully, Eric O'Sullivan, ordained on the internet. The caveat, as always, please do not burn your hands holding on to my hot takes. If you do, well, that's on you, pal. Hey, forget about it. Destroy it all. We're talking Sopranos today. Over the past 2 years or so, I got turned on to a podcast called Talking Sopranos with Michael Imperioli and Steven Sciarippa, both of the Sopranos, the TV show, the HBO mobster show. I love this show. I watch it once a year. I love theories about it. I love the this and that, and I love hearing these stories from the crew and the cast and the writers, and I just simply love this show. I want to talk about the finale. Why? Because Talking Sopranos is coming up to the finale and the very much ballyhooed and debated about ending. So I'm going to talk about what I feel happened at the end and theories that led up to it. Most notably, a secret mole. Okay, let's talk about the end first, the fade to black. What happened to Tony? Tony got clipped. Tony got whacked by the guy in the members only jacket. It was a hit. Mr. Sciarippa insists that if that happened, the rest of the family would have gotten killed too. I don't believe that. I think it just would have been Tony. I feel that there was a cinematic setup to that payoff. It was when Phil Leotardo got hit. Phil got hit in front of his wife and grandchildren at the gas station. And that was because families are off, are forbidden to be hit. And so goes the code. So I feel like there's a setup to that payoff. Would Carmela have gotten hurt? Physically, no. AJ, no. Meadow, no. But they all would have been witness to Tony getting hit from behind. It was kind of set up as well, alluded to in a way, in the Dickie Moltisanti hit in The Many Saints of Newark. You'll never end in the Blue Comet, the penultimate episode. Actually, it wasn't the penultimate episode. It was the Sopranos Home Movies, the one where Bobby Bacala and Tony are talking about You'll Never Hear It Coming. That was earlier than the final episodes. But all these setups to the payoffs. This is Butch. Butch is the capo regime of the New York mob. He's the consigliere to Phil Leotardo. And this is Butch's salon. Butch owns a Manhattan salon. I think it's actually Brooklyn or Queens. Sorry, New York. I'm a Boston boy. My Manhattan knowledge only goes so far. But I think there's some setup here that I'm about to show you. I slow this down to 1/25th speed, 1/4 speed, to avoid any kind of copyright strike. But this is Butch talking to some of his underlings about the hits. He's ordering the hits on Tony, on Silvio Dante, and on Bobby Bacala. And I think there are everything that David Chase does is on purpose visually. Okay. Here we go. Over here, we're not going to see it up close, you know what I mean? But, I'm just pointing it out. There are a few pictures of models. This could be AJ's girlfriend Rhiannon, who he reunited with in the in the mental hospital, or the psychiatric hospital, rather. Let's be more sensitive than that. It resembles her. She had admitted to recently becoming an elite model, and this is a New York City salon. It's my This was balanced by when the last time I watched Sopranos, I watched it with the commentary track. This portrait up here, that's the porn star Tracy Lords. She's actually has some let's put it sensitively some organic male biologically male matter on her eye, and that's why she's winking. It's semen. This is an actual real photograph of the porn star Tracy Lords, and it's meant to be balanced to the picture of Rhiannon. Remember, everything that Chase does is on purpose. So it's my idea that Rhiannon was Butchie's New York City mole in the Soprano home. That even though Butch okays the hit on Phil, that he would have okayed the hit on Tony. And probably, and this is a good, there's another theory behind this too. This was revealed, the guy who played Carlo said that, oh yeah, that was Tracy Lords in this picture here in Butchie's salon when they're going over this scene. Let's see, is that moving? It's cutting in a second. But before that, we're given. I'm pretty sure that's Rhiannon. And so yeah, this is that's what I think happened in the Sopranos, was that Rhiannon was Butchie's mole. That Rhiannon was on the couch with AJ when they said, "Okay, we're gonna meet at Holston's later at 9:00 for supper." I think it was 9:00, but that Rhiannon was there, and probably, unwittingly, kind of like Finn, unwittingly said, "Hey, just gave some information." Finn gave some information about Vito Spatafore. Said that, yeah, I saw Vito, in a homosexual act in the parking lot at the construction site, and that was the death warrant for Vito Spatafore, and being outed like that. I see the Sopranos excel in setup and payoff. I mean, it's a wonderfully crafted show. So I think that, yeah, Rhiannon, being an elite model out of New York City, Butchie's salon, did her hair and nails and stuff. So Rhiannon was was a mole, and reported back to Butchie off camera. So that's why they knew that the Soprano family, that where Tony would be at Holston's that fateful night, and at the Fade to Black with Don't Stop Believing. This goes into another theory that blew my mind. I love Talking Sopranos. One of my favorite comics artists is Ethan Van Sciver, and I get to talk to him on Twitter about Sopranos. He'll talk to you about Sopranos all day, and yeah, I'm blessed to have this quasi personal correspondence with him. It's just Twitter. How else are you gonna phrase it? But we talk Sopranos, and he had a really interesting theory. The members only jacket is iconic, in that, okay, in the beginning of season 6, we're introduced to one of the gangsters, Eugene Pontecorvo. And Pontecorvo means the Crow's Bridge. The bridges have been used all throughout Sopranos as a signifying of death. There have been people thrown off bridges, and It's pretty. It's there if you want to see it. Um, but in the crow being a harbinger of death. Also, remember Chrissy sees the crow in the when he's getting made. Outside the window, he thinks that's he thinks it's a curse. Also, in the Many Saints of Newark, I mean, Dickie Jr. murders. Spoiler: Dickie Jr. murders his father in the garage, and there's a crow in the garage. Okay, remember this is The Sopranos. This is marvelously crafted. Now, Pontecorvo, Eugene Pontecorvo didn't win the lottery. He got an inheritance, $2 million inheritance, and from a relative that passed away. He was asking Tony if he could leave the outfit, that he could move to Florida, and because him and his wife, they want to retire. He was told no. He was also flipped by the feds. He was one of the many rats, one of the many informants, federal informants going on. He was told by the feds no. What did Eugene Pontecorvo do? He hung himself and committed suicide, or he suicided, as we say these days. And it's Ethan Van Sciver's theory. It blew my mind, and I agree with him, that the widow Pontecorvo had the funds and means and motivation to put a hit out on Tony Soprano. How much would that have cost? $200,000, who knows how much it would have cost. I mean, I'm just making a speculation here. Yet, it's like what Tool said in that song, I see the pieces fit because I watch them fall away. I'm totally blown away by this. I agree and believe in this, that Tony was not only murdered in that famous cut to black, but that it was a hit ordered by, off screen, and inferred from the clues that the widow Pontecorvo put a hit on Tony Soprano. And that the New York crew probably were the ones that arranged it through Rhiannon's intel. Remember, Sopranos is all about setup and payoff. I mean, it's such a well-crafted show that it's I think this is how I see the pieces fitting. What do you think about the Sopranos finale? Give me a thumbs up if you like this kind of content. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't. But leave a comment in the comments section if you could be so kind. Do you think that Rhiannon was Butchie's mole in the Soprano home? I do. Do you think that the widow Pontecorvo put the hit out on Tony? I do. I believe that. Do you think Tony died? Do you think Tony lived? Just put a comment in the comments section. This is art. This is about interpretation. And, I'm so happy that we're still able to talk about it after 20 years or more. I mean, this is still going on, this conversation. What a wonderful show. I can't wait to watch it again in 2022. And that's all I got to say for today. So leave a comment in the comment section and give me a subscribe if you could be so kind. I'm a professional chef. I make a lot of cooking videos. I got 2,700 views on my last soup. It was a short. I'm impressed. And I want to give you some restaurant level cooking hacks so you can make delicious, nutritious, and beautiful food in your home, so you can be like the Sopranos and be obsessed with food and have all these dinner scenes with your loved ones. And if you watch the Sopranos as I do, you know how important food is. And listening to the Talking Sopranos podcast just drives that home. It's David Chase can tell you what you were eating at this meeting, at this restaurant, during the entire production. It's amazing, the recall. But next week is going to be Made in America, the Sopranos finale. And they're going to have David Chase on. Michael Imperioli, who played Chrissy Moltisanti, and Stephen Sciarippa, who played Bobby Baccalieri. There have been wonderful hosts. They've had amazing guests. It's been a wonderful experience as a Sopranos fan. You can start from episode 1 and do a rewatch. It kept me entertained and looking forward to every Monday during lockdown 2020 and beyond. And hopefully, as a Sopranos fan, you won't forget about it either. You're going to tune in. Hey! Well, you have a wonderful day. Thank you so very much. God bless and namaste. Cheers.